Hi, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be making my filing system a little bit more interesting. As you can see behind me here, I've got these files. I'll just tilt it up and show you a little bit more of what I've got there. You can see I've got two shelves and they have LibreOffice files on them. They look a bit boring. So I thought what I would do is make it a little bit more interesting, brighten them up a bit. I'm only going to work on the bottom row for now because I've got those files that have already got paperwork allocated to them. The top row, I've managed to find 6 categories. I need to find something for the 7th, and then it will make it worthwhile doing the whole row at the top as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to show you on the computer. Before I do, the picture I'm going to do is going to be printed on my inkjet printer onto, I don't know if you can see that, it's printable vinyl. They're A4 sheets and they're adhesive. Right, that's just going to go, I won't show you the printing part of it, you know, it's like putting stuff through printers, but I will come back and show you what it looks like before it's put onto those files. All right, so just bear with me while I now get my computer screen involved so you can see what I'm doing. All right, here we are on the computer screen now. So the first thing I had to do was, I want a picture to put across here. So where I get most of my pictures from, unless I use a photograph, you could actually use a photograph, that would work. What I do is I have a website I go to where I can get a PNG. That actually, if I wanted to add it to something else, so if I had a web page that had a black background and I just wanted to put the image without all the white space around it, the PNG can be saved. Most of them are actually on the website as a transparency. I'll show you what I mean. So where I get my images from is this place called PNG Wing. They're free. And I put in dolphins, search. Now, the biggest problem with a lot of these free sites is they want you to view adverts at some stages. So I went through, there was all these dolphins here, and go down. I thought it was on the first page. So no, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to get that advert. Go through here. This one here I use as a logo for my craft work, anything made by me. Sort of opened it when I found it before. I don't know whether we like to fill up now because I've already spun over it. So you know what, maybe. I can't do it. Okay, so here's the image that I use. And all you do is click on it. You see where it's all settled in the background. That shows the transparency. But if I wanted to, if I save this, I might be able to show you how it works. So then you go just down to the download, and sometimes they don't give it an advert. Other times they'll give you, now that one's, because I've already got a copy of this probably. Usually what they do is they, just to make sure that you're not a box, they put a little image and it'll have numbers, letters, special characters, and it asks you to click on 4 of them in the order that it's written within that question. And then it downloads it for you. Go to your download files, open it up, and there it is. Now, as you can see now, on that black background, all you've got is the picture for politics. Now, I'm not sure what this it is here in the middle. This, of course, is the sun. There's a blob here, and there's a couple of blobs here. Got no idea what they are, but it doesn't matter for what I'm doing today. So we'll get rid of that. And what I'm doing is get rid of that bond. I've actually put it into my Leonardo Design Studio, which is, if you've got a Caesar Juliet or a Caesar Romeo cutting machine, this is the design software that comes with it. This is being updated all the time. Since I last used it, there's been a lot of new features added to it. Now, what I need to do is I've put the design in there. Because I'm using A4 sheets, I actually select over here A4. If I had an A3 printer, I could make that bigger and fit A3, which would then fit across these files better. So I'll show you what happens if I put the A4 sheet across here. Doesn't reach that's one. So I'm actually going to put it in the middle. But I'm doing something else. I'm just going to do it so it looks nice. I won't want it to stick in the middle like that and have the text drop. So I'm going to be going from one side to the other, either that way or that way, and the end file will have something different. Okay, so that then goes to the printer. So I send design. I don't have to worry about anything on there because I'm not going to be cutting. That's all I've got. Just print that. If I wanted to cut it out on the pressing machine, I would then go down here. And it would cut out these outlines. You can see the sun's not there. Those bubbles are not there. The only thing with that is, then I've got to try and place all these bits down. Remember, I'm going to be pressing it down so it fits on each file. That's not going to be easy doing it with objects out there. But all I'm doing is that. So I'm just going to go pop this in the printer and I will be back with the printed product. Okay, here's the printout. Now I had to leave this for a couple of hours because the ink was wet. When you're using an inkjet printer on vinyl, it's not like on paper where it will dry quite quickly. Being on vinyl, it does take quite a while for the ink to dry. So remember that if you're printing on vinyl with an inkjet printer, it does take time to dry. You could check it in a couple of hours and see, but usually it's kept overnight. But I don't have overnight because it's Wednesday afternoon now. It's 2 p.m. Wednesday, the 9th of April. So what happens next is you can see the page marks that Leonardo puts on. That's so when it goes through the cutting machine, it cuts exactly where it showed you on the computer. You have to have those. So I've now got to try and I've got to cut this out. And as you can see, it's not actually taking up the full A4 sheet. There's a big gap here. I don't know why, but I think it's the way it was pulled through the printer that it's right on the edge here. So I've actually got a craft cutter. You can see I've moved the files down ready. And I'm running out of space to work. So I'm going to move that over there, just so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to push it to that end. That through there, get it right on the edge of that so that it actually cuts off the
black lines. And then on the bottom, cut off the black lines. Now I'm going to push it to the back. It's easier to pull on these things than it is to push. I didn't do that very straight, did I? Alright, let's try that one again. Oops, the vinyl's lifting at that end. Okay, that's that. I don't know what happened there. It didn't cut the base. But that's all right, as long as it's cut the vinyl. It didn't cut straight because I haven't cut straight here. I'm going to try and do it this way. Fingers. Get some scissors and cut that, I think, rather than pull it, because pulling it isn't helping. Off. And then I'm going to take a fair bit off the top because I don't need all of that white space at the top. Alright, let's pop that down there for now. Get rid of all of that. Alright, let's line them all up. Now each of these files I've actually put a label on of what's in them. And I actually measured it so that they were flat. What I did was, and I don't know what I've done with that now, in the ruler, there it is. So I've got a metal ruler with a small spirit level. It's got a magnet on the back end of it. So I can put that together. Make sure it's all lined up properly. And then I can put it across like this and make sure that's level in the middle, and then we can pop. I need to go back up a bit, I think. there, 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 there. And make sure these are all just sitting right on the edge of that ruler. And then that will fit across like so. And as you can see, it won't reach the last file. Now for the fun part, trying to get this to stick to that without these moving. Trying to get the vinyl away from the backing. It worked when I was using the cutter. Alright, so I started the wrong way, haven't I? I think what I might do is go top. I'll do top down. Line that up with the bottom of those, almost. Then I'm going to run down it with the ruler to smooth it out. Hopefully disperse bubbles. So there's the image, and then that's a nuisance because I thought that bit there was the backing. I didn't realise it was a bit of vinyl. I'll try and see, can I cut that bit off? I might be able to hide it anyway. Hide it later. Alright, so then what I need to do is I need to split it. Where the files join. Which means I need to go through there. And I should have brought my craft knife. Let me see, can I do this without making a mess? So now you can see where the image is. I need to go now down between each of the files. That's, whoops. I need something behind them to stop them moving. Put that there, and then I need something behind that. Let's see, can I put some books behind? And if that will hold it to stop them moving, that might work. Alright, so what I now have to do is pop that in there and hope it works. I can't do it with the ruler, I don't think. That's going to be too difficult. mainly because I can't see unless I put my head in the way of what you're seeing. There's one. So if you start at the top, it seems to work easier, and it follows then the, whoops, make sure you've got enough blade out. One, two. Three. Okay, so you can imagine what this would look like if you had a family photo. It would be nice. Or a holiday photo, somewhere you've been that you may have taken a really great picture that you think, well, that would be nice. We run out of wall space sometimes, so we can't always put what pictures we've taken on walls. And there's the 6th all done. Okay, so that will now sit up in the shelf and it'll look a bit nicer than just all that black. But how do I know what's in each folder now? I can't leave these things sitting here. So I went back into Leonardo and I've made some labels that I will stick down below here, mainly because I'm short and it's easier for me to read a label that's down here than a label that's up the top. Otherwise I would have put the picture further down. So let's go back now and have a look at that and see how that works.
You've now finished with this design. I will be printing off another one once I've decided what the 7th folder is going to be holding. But to do the list of names for the 7 folders at the bottom, what I've done is I've made some labels here. Now at the moment you can't see, you can't read anything. That's because this is shrunk. If I zoom, you can see it. So like all my car, roadside assistance, insurance, registration services. Because I don't have a lot of insurance papers, because the insurance changes every year, I only keep paperwork for 7 years. Once the 7 years is up, then I shred old stuff. So I don't have a folder that's got lots and lots on it. So let's go back to normal size. But I'll show you how I did this. I made a rectangle. And inside that rectangle, I put some text. Now the text I've selected is one, I can't even remember now. I've got quite a lot of fonts downloaded. I don't know if it tells you how many fonts I've got on here, but I've got quite a lot of fonts. So this one is Bernhard Tango BT. Now I just type in what I want. So hiring, and that's quite small because I've made it small to fit in here. But basically, I've put that in there, stick it in there, so it's centered. And then what I do is I've got the whole thing and shrink it. Or I can make it the size I need here. Now to fit on the spine, it needs to be 2.5 wide. It can be as long as I need it to be. I've made it on. I need to unlock. It's unlocked, and then I can make it 5.5 long. Now the way I did it, as you can see, it's made that long as well. The way I did this is I made the box long first, and then I did the text, so the text, I can fit more text in if I need to. That one there. So if I wanted to do car, I'll do red Joe, assist, ILC, the service, it. I can put tyres. See how it's stretched it now? It's stretched it even longer. So it's better, take that out, make the box, make the text, see, this, go, source, tyres, and then get that and shrink that to size so that it actually fits in there. That is a better way to do it. And having done that, I just realised I didn't include tyres in this one. So I'm going to turn it around, open that up, and I'm going to put tyres on the end. And that then just fits into that box, turn it around, and move it over. It's centered, it's not easy to do. Unfortunately, I can't actually use my keyboard to center it. I don't know if you can center it from here. Okay, anyway, it's all there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print that onto another sheet of the vinyl. And this down here is the little logo that is going to go on the 7th folder. So let me go and print that, and I'll show you what we'll do next.
There it is, the labels are all printed off now. The little design that I have, I don't know if you can actually see it. It's very small, but it needed to be small to fit on the folder. So that one can come around here now. I don't need to be messing with those. There are those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these with the craft cutter. Take that there. Which I might just chop the top bits off. I'll do the bottom by hand. No, I'm not going to do the bottom by hand either. Let me see. Okay, no, that'll work. one. Take those off. Two. I'm going to have to do that by hand, I think. Okay, so that one goes that way, so I'm going to have to cut that one by hand, or maybe not. It's going to go that way, so I'm going to cut it there. And cut it there. Maybe I need a bigger. That doesn't look very good, does it? It's going to have to do, because I really need to think about what I could put. I know what I could actually put a lighthouse there. I might leave that one off for now. I'm going to do these. Cut them down the middle. This is, I should have got the guillotine out, because it would have been easier to see. Two. Two. So the trick to doing this is use a guillotine when you've got small pieces like this, because you're never going to get it straight. But I'm not doing it for anybody to sell it, so it's just going up on my cupboard. So my first one is all my car stuff. Oh, so I'm going to pop that on there, and then I can see what's in that folder. The next one is my Centrelink info. I don't know, I think that needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger. It's only fit there, won't it? Alright. So chuck that on there, if I can get it off. Let's get level with that one. Okay, so there it is now with the labels on. I don't think this is going to be any good. It's too small compared to this. So what I'm thinking I might do is find a picture of maybe a lighthouse. So it looks like there's a bit of rockery at the end here extend that island, bit of rockery of the lighthouse on it. That just might finish it off a little bit. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now I'm going to put all this back in the shelf and then you can see what it looks like from there. I will be back. And here are the files with their picture on, all finished. And I did manage to find a nice picture of a lighthouse with some blues in it. It was on PNG ring. So I downloaded that, popped that into Leonardo and send it to the printer. And that just finishes off that row of folders. So yeah, like I said, you can use a holiday photo or family photo. There's lots of different things that you can put on there. Just a matter of playing around with it and seeing what fits. If you don't have to have Leonardo Studio to do these kinds of things. You could do that in a PowerPoint. The only thing is you've got to make sure you've got the measurements right in your A4 size, or an A3 if you've got A3 printer ability. The A3 size, just to make sure all your images fit. PowerPoint's really good because you can add text boxes. In a Word document, you'd have to add a table and put your wording inside a cell and make sure that the cell was the right size. So with Leonardo, the font that I use is the fonts that are on my computer. So anything that you have on your computer, you can use within Leonardo. It doesn't come with its own font. As you can see, I've now changed. It's almost 7:45. I'm still on Wednesday, the 9th of April. Yeah, I noticed that I was actually looking at the recording controls. I'll show you what they look like. This is it. And I always move them over, otherwise they're going to be stuck right in front of the screen that I'm recording. So I move them off. And I was talking to that instead of talking to you. So my apologies. Back to fonts. Alright, so the fonts I've got, I'll show you on here. It shows I've got 287 fonts at the moment. I think that's 287. My eyesight's really not that great. Well, on cataract surgery. So a lot of my fonts I get, of course, I've got the standard ones that come with Microsoft Windows. But I get some from Creative Fabrica. That's this company here. With Leonardo, they did a deal that we could get membership to Creative Fabrica at a very, very reduced price. And I wanted to take advantage of that. I think it was something like $59 Australian that it cost me. But it's a lot more than that normally. But because they were with Caesar, we got a really good discount. And with that, I get a daily email that gives me a free font. Now, this one here, if I click on the free download, I'm not going to because I don't need the font. You know how downloads work. So I could download that for free. These ones here, because the freebie only lasts 24 hours, you miss it, you have to pay for it. But again, you're still getting a really good deal because these are designed by other people. And these are the people that actually sell them stuff. So this one here, Maverick Stars, is $20. This Rosella, I think is what it's called. This person is selling it for $50. But because I'm getting it through Creative Fabrica, I can buy it for $1. Send that on a dollar. So each of these come with graphics as well. So with the young teacher, I've also got these graphics here that I can buy. Well, I can download these for free. One on $21 something. I think it's 20. I don't think it's 28 because of the line that's on store. This one here I can buy for $1, normally sells for 10.
This one I can buy for $1 and then myself at 10. And then there are stamps, which are smaller. They're this little tiny stamp size. You could be using on gifts or on envelopes for Christmas cards, birthday cards, whatever. This one is a t-shirt design bundle. I can buy that for $3. That looks like it's very expensive normally. Same with this one here. I can buy it for $1. It's normally 740. That's $3.99. So yeah, it's worth signing up to site like Creative Fabrica if you're going to be doing all the graphics, t-shirt designs, stickers and all that kind of thing. But anyway, I use it for fonts because I do like to use different fonts on things that I'm playing around with. Eventually, when I start doing other stuff, I might start getting some designs as well. Although seasoned Leonardo Design Studio, that also comes with a lot of its own graphics. But that's the lot about graphics. Now, that's about it for now, for today. I would like to ask you if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel. If you subscribe, you get notifications. When you're in YouTube, if you're logged into YouTube, if you're on the PC, you will see over on the left-hand side of the screen, there's subscriptions in the menu, and there's a little blue dot. So that little blue dot is saying that there are new videos for you to watch. And if you scroll down, and you've got all the people listed, I can expand the list of all the people that I am subscribed to. And these ones are the blue dots. They've actually put up a video that I haven't seen yet. I can see there's a lot. Some of them I'm not going to rush to watch. Some of them I will. If you're looking at YouTube on a tablet or on a phone, the subscriptions is down at the bottom. It's just a little box with a red dot on it. And if you click on that, again, you'll get that menu down the left-hand side showing you the names of the channels that have got new videos for you to watch. I'd really love you to do that for me. Comment on the video that you've watched. Give me constructive criticism, give me suggestions of what can I do? Do I need to make changes? The volume, the quality, although there's no way I can do that with quality, it's the software I'm using. And give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. That then gets out there for other people to see. Pass me on to your friends. I've got 17 subscribers at the moment. Like last look, which is pretty good because when I first started I had 5, and here I am now in April. I started in August of last year, so that's what 4 months, 8 months I've been running, and I've now got 17 subscribers. And I'm quite happy that I am growing. I don't expect to have millions or thousands. At least until I get out there and people actually get to see what I'm doing. So yeah, a thumbs up would be great. So next week, next Wednesday, I'm not sure yet what we're going to be doing. It's now autumn in Perth, and the weather is so unpredictable. It'll say that it's going to be 28 degrees and fine and sunny, and then you get up in the morning and overnight it's changing, it's pouring with rain, so you just don't know. It could be 24 degrees and I'm talking centigrade here, and 70% humidity, which means it'll be at 24 degrees, it'd be nice working outdoors, but with the humidity so high, it's just impossible. I have to be indoors today. So at the moment, I've got no idea what's happening next Wednesday. It's going to be a surprise for you and for me as well. I'll actually have a look and see if I've got anything on my computer I can work with, or maybe I can do something depending on the weather. It could be something on the computer, it could be something in the garden, it could be something tough here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it's given you some inspiration for things that you can do around your filing systems if you have folders on shelves somewhere. And I will see you all next week. Take care. Have a great week. Until then, bye for now.